Hey guys, so today I thought I would film a makeup tutorial and we're going to be using the Kylie Cosmetics eyeshadow palette. And the first shade that I went in with was Naked as my transition shade, and I am using that on the Sigma E40. Now this shade did not put a lot of pigmentation down, but I did want to go in with it just to kind of make everything else that I'm going to use blend a little bit easier, so I'm kind of not being precise with this shade whatsoever. I'm just kind of getting it in the crease and a little bit above the crease. And then I switched over to my favorite brush, the Sephora E10, I believe it is. No, the Sephora, I think it's just the 10. And I'm just kind of furthering blending. Now with the same Sephora brush, I'm going to go in with Beach, and that I'm going to deepen up my crease a little bit more. This is more of like my transition shade. And then I'm just going to blend it up and build the color up until I get it to its desired effect. And now I'm taking the shade Penny and I'm basically going to put it right over top of Beach and then just build it up a little bit more in the outer corner, but then I am going to sweep it all the way into the inner corner as well, all the way into the inner tear duct. I'm using the MAC brush that I never know the name of. It is a dual fiber MAC brush, and basically I am just, you guys, repeating the exact same step again, just building up that color Beach until I get it to its desired effect. Right here, you guys, I'm still working with the shade Beach, but I decided to pick up my MAC 242. It's like a flat shader brush. And then I'm just going to apply Beach a little bit more pigmented or a little bit heavier in the outer corner and the inner corner. Basically, you guys, what I'm doing is just really taking my time, and I want to build a lot of depth and dimension with this look. So basically, at the end result, I'm practically using every single color in this palette, but when you look at my eye when it's completely finished, you're not going to be able to see where one color starts, one color stops, and that's just kind of how you really get a nice blended, put together, very depth and dimension in your eye look. And now I'm just going back in with the Sigma E40 and blending it all over again. Alright guys, now I'm going to go in the shade Burgundy and the exact same MAC 242 brush, and then I switched back over to the original MAC blending duo fiber brush. And basically what I'm doing is I'm doing the exact same steps that I was doing with the shade Penny, but I'm just giving this look a little bit more of like a reddish vibe because that is how I want the end result of the look to be. Then I'm going in with a more detailed blending brush, which is the MAC 221, which I have raved about so many times on my channel. It is perfect if you have hooded or smaller eyes. And you guys, I am so sorry I keep going out of frame when I'm filming this. I'm getting used to doing tutorials and I'm doing my best. I'm sorry if you missed a couple of the steps because I was not in frame. But basically I picked that MAC Duo Fiber brush back up, and I am just blending in Burgundy a little bit more. Now I'm taking the shade Brick, and as you guys can see, I'm doing the exact same steps over and over again, but this time I took a little bit of a smaller brush. That is the Sephora Pro Shader, the number 18 that I'm using right now, that I'm packing on the shade Brick. And basically, again, just building up the depth and dimension in my eye and the eye look. And then I'll go back in and blend this out, and then I'll go back. Basically, I'm just repeating the same steps over and over again, and the darker the color, the smaller the brush. And then I will kind of go in with the previous brush that I used before and kind of blend out the look with no additional product on any of the brushes. Right here, I just picked up a little bit of beach, and basically what I'm doing is I noticed that it was not looking very blended in my upper crease, so I basically just took the shade beach to kind of blend things out a little bit more and kind of make things look a little bit more smooth. I didn't want to go back in with like burgundy because I didn't want it to get too red, too high up. And then basically now I'm taking the shade, I believe that was Almond that I grabbed, and I picked back up the MAC 242, the flat shader brush. And as you can see, we're bringing that deeper color a little bit further in on top of where I had originally placed Brick. And then I'm going to go back in with the MAC 221, and we're just going to blend it all over again. This look is kind of redundant, you guys, but that's kind of when you want a very nice, seamless, blended look. It's kind of just repeating the same steps over and over again, just making sure that everything kind of just melts together and everything just looks, I guess, pretty. Okay, so now I decided that I wanted a little bit more warmth back up in my upper crease, so I picked up the shade Penny, again on the Sigma E40, and then just kind of brought a little bit more of that orangey look back into the eye. Sometimes it just goes that way. You want one thing and then you switch it up to another. So now we're taking the MAC Fix Plus and back with the MAC 242. You guys, the MAC 242 is just like, it's just a necessary brush because it does so much. But anyways, basically I'm taking the shade Dubai and we are putting that all over my lid. You guys, this is such a beautiful shade. When I first start applying the color, I kind of just pat it on, and then when I get closer to my upper crease area, you can kind of see that I kind of start swiping a little bit more and back in with the MAC 221, and we are blending those shades completely together. Now, you guys, I did not put the eye look. I did put on winged eyeliner and lashes, you guys, but that was 100% out of frame, so sorry about that. But I did use the Inglot Gel Liner number 77, and then the lashes that I'm wearing are the House of Lashes Seductress, and those lashes are bomb. I love them so much. Alright, so just to give myself a little bit of luminosity and glow, I did go in with Becca's Shimmering Skin Perfector, the liquid in Champagne Pop. And now I am going in with the Hourglass Vanish Stick, and that's what I'm going to use. And this foundation is amazing, you guys. It is full coverage. It looks very natural on the skin. It is just a really, really, really gorgeous, gorgeous foundation. I don't wear it very often because you guys have heard me complain about it 100 times. I think it's super expensive, but it does come through when you need it to come through. So I decided to do a little bit of cream contour today, so I decided to be super fancy. Right now I'm using the that was the Morphe E8, and I picked up the Makeup Forever, I forget what that palette is called, the Makeup Forever Pro Sculpting palette, and I picked up the shade Contour, and then, so that's where you saw me sculpting with my contour. Then I picked up another E8 brush that I have, and I am just using the highlight in the palette as well, and then I'm going to blend all of that out with my dampened Beauty Blender. Alright guys, so to go ahead and set those creams into place, I'm going to take the Makeup Forever Pro Bronze Fusion in the number 20M with my favorite bronzing brush, which is the Sephora Pro 59 Precision Powder. You guys have heard me rave about that brush a lot. Now I'm baking my under eyes, you guys, using the RCMA No Color Powder, and I'm actually baking my entire face, you guys, which is not something I do very, very often because my skin is a little bit drier. But whenever I want to go with a little bit more of a glam look, I absolutely bake my entire face. Now I'm going to take the Hourglass Ambient Edit palette, and I'm taking the powder, and basically what I'm using is I'm using that to give my skin a little bit of a luminosity and kind of dust away all of the bake that was on my face. And then basically I picked up the bronzing shade, and I'm using that just to kind of intensify my bronzer a little bit more. And then we're going to go back and forth with the blending process. Then I picked up, I believe that is the shade number 3. They don't have names in the Narcissist palette. Well, this is going quickly. Then I picked up the Pro Light Fusion bronzer, or highlighter, I'm sorry, in the shade number 1. That's the more pinky toned. And then I'm blending it completely out with the Morphe Duo Fiber. And just to brighten my under eyes, I took a little bit of the Besame translucent powder. And now you guys see me applying my lipstick. And this is the shade, I forget what shade I put on. I will link it down below, and we're done.